Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 5 Cents Podcast. We're just five guys who give our opinions and our thoughts about topics and events and things going on in the world. And today, we actually have a special guest with us, my boy Alex here,
What's good?
and everybody else is the usual. We got Jackson,
Hello, hello.
Josh,
What's good?
Nate,
What's up, y'all?
and Nico.
What's up?
And so I'm your host today. I'm Zay. Um, Today is just it's this one's for the boys. Sports, obviously. We got the playoffs going on. And LeBron's already out and certain people are kind of it's up in the air. It's up in the air besides the Nets. The other side is up in the air. So first we're gonna go with the simple topic, Nets versus the Bucks. It's 2-0 right now. Y'all think it's gonna be they swept the sweep, or are they gonna shake it off and come back?
All I gotta say on this topic, man, is that second game was brutal for the Bucks. That was something to behold. I honestly I started watching and I was like, my buddies said they want to go to the gym. Like I'm gonna go with them. We're gonna have a good time, and the game will be on, so I can glance up when I want to. And I remember we were in the middle of a set, and I glanced up, and there was a 40-point lead. I was like, dude, how does this even happen? Like that's just absurd. So I mean, as far as my prediction, I honestly have trouble believing that they'll sweep. But man, 40-point lead is something to behold.
Especially without James Harden.
Yeah,
That's what the crazy part to me was. They didn't even have the full gauntlet, and they were still clapping, bro.
So it was just a Thanos gauntlet that was missing one jewel.
Pretty much.
No, I think so like currently right now, while we're recording this, so there's like 2 seconds left and the Bucks are up by 3. So hopefully, the Bucks, clutch this out and KD or Kyrie don't hit no like last second nonsense. But I think like the reason why the Bucks got, handed to them the way they did is because of the Bucks superstar. So this man Giannis, as much as he is like a superstar, he's also like a very limited player because he mainly uses his athleticism to score. So like every team plays him exactly the same. They just give him the 3-point shot and force him to hit a layup on like 2 people. So like if he hits that, yeah, he hits that. That's what he's supposed to do. But other than that, like it's going to be tough. And when you have your co-star like Chris Middleton, like if he has a bad game, the Bucks have automatically lost, in my opinion. If Chris Middleton doesn't score 20 points, the Bucks lost that game because that's it. It's literally Giannis, then Chris Middleton. That's it. That's their scoring right there. So I don't believe that Chris Middleton, I guess, will step up enough to make it easier on Giannis, like for a 7-game series. So I still got the Nets winning this one.
Damn.
Yeah. Honestly, I gotta agree. It's a little bit that Giannis, he doesn't have the full support he needs to be able to take the Bucks to the championship like he should. But also, we gotta be honest, the Nets are just a cheat code this season. If they don't win, they sold. Like, it makes no sense that all the superstars, R-stars, and veterans can be on the same team, and the commissioner doesn't do anything about it, to be honest. But that aside...
I was gonna ask y'all that, like with the way that these teams are starting to look, and the way that the superstars are willing to take pay cuts, so like they're just moving anyone everywhere. Like, do y'all think they'll ever step in and like stop like a certain combination of people, or will they just not care and whoever they get on their teams is what they'll let be, and so they won't care about super teams?
I feel like if one team, or there was a team that was just kept on being undefeated, like winning championship after championship, I feel like someone would be done. But I don't know. But at the same time, it's a business thing. So I mean, it's just they had good business moves, and
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think they would, to be honest.
it's tough because we're in the age where players are making more independent decisions. Like players have so much more power over their own destiny than they did in the past.
Right.
We've got people who quite literally know their contractual worth, but you balance that with, I mean, most fans could agree that a lot of people would like to see Dame get a ring. I mean, I feel like Dame competing for a ring is something that I want to see in my lifetime.
Man.
So is it a benefit or a detriment if we send Dame to some super team, but he gets to play for a ring because he's of that caliber? For example, Josh's sweet favorite Lakers, they don't even get to play this time. Would it be cool to send Dame there?
No.
When he could bolster a mid team. Like it's instead of there being more of a balance of like, oh, it's this player on this team versus this other player on another team. You've got guys who are smart enough to realize, you know, as much as I like to call Katie a snake, it's hilarious. It's very fun. The man knows, like, if I join this team, I'll probably get a ring, or I can at least compete for one on this team. And in terms of player like power, the empowerment of the players, it's at the highest it's ever been. Whether or not that's a detriment to the game, like it's difficult to say so early because super teams do cause imbalance, but they can revive essentially any team. In order to have a super team, you just need to have one or two really young upstarts start playing very, very well. And it's not even like the super teams have crushed everyone utterly. It's just that they're better. Like they just have an edge. But like the Mavs are still good, the Nuggets are still good. Like there are plenty of options for competitiveness. I just think that it's a unavoidable consequence of having players being able to choose where they want to be. You're going to have super teams happen. So unless you want to limit player freedom, you're not going to end up seeing those super teams dissolve.
On top of that, I don't think that it's like the way it seems, if that makes sense. So when you see a super team like that, usually what happens is there's going to be another team that rivals that team. Very seldomly is when it's just going to be one team just like reigning on top like that.
Only
What's gonna
time you hear a
happen-
Lakers fan talk like this is when
I was
they're
about to
losing.
say.
That's
I was just about because you know the Lakers were supposed to be that this season,
Oh.
and what happened? They gone.
AD got hurt.
First
AD
season.
got hurt.
James Harden hurt right now.
James Harden got hurt, but they have 3 superstars instead of 2 on the team.
And that's the issue.
Mickey out here just clowning. Go ahead.
And that's the issue.
Yeah, I got
This is the
Kuzma,
first
bro.
season that there's been a team that has been that big of a discrepancy, which I do agree with what Jackson said, to where it's like, which I was very surprised by that. Now, like, even with that one super team kind of being the pinnacle of the NBA right now, there's a lot of low-key players coming up who are showing their worth on some of these smaller teams, and especially, like,
D-Book.
in the West,
Hero.
making a lot of noise for people who wouldn't even been noticed before, you know? So I feel like it is even though there is right now specifically, you know, the Nets they got a lot to lose if they lose this season, but I feel like there's a lot of other teams coming up as well who low-key might have their name in the pot for these next couple of years, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't forget about the Suns, man. They're balling up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, but they're not winning. I'm sorry. They're not.
I would
like,
You never know, man.
My thing is like, in my opinion, I just think the Nets are coming out of the East. Jeez. And I think the Suns are probably going to come out of the West. That's what you know what, and that's just me. That's what I want. I want the Suns to come out of the West. I really do, because I'm a big fan of Devin Booker, and that man has been frustrated for a while, and he always would take that frustration and snap on the court, but he never got like recognition, I would say. Like I can't remember how many years ago it was, but he got hoed from being picked on the All-Star team.
Yeah, it was
and I
the
was
year
like-
before last year.
Yeah. Okay, year before last, he got hoed from being picked on the All-Star team, and I was just like, wow, that's kind of disrespectful. And that was just my opinion, but I hope they get to the finals, but I'm with Josh on that one. I don't see them winning, but like second place has their name on it. You know,
That's so
runner up.
tough.
I really want the Suns to win, I really want the Suns to win because of Chris Paul. I mean, because like as long as he been in the league, I feel like he really deserves that ring.
I'm saying
And
people
that's the
honestly
thing.
like just to add on that real quick. People really gotta give Chris Paul his flowers because I told some of my other friends this. I feel like Chris Paul is the equivalent of the Spurs as a player, right? Because anytime a player goes to the Spurs, they immediately get trained enough to where they could be an all-star anywhere else, right? As soon as
Oh
Chris
yeah.
Paul goes to a team, that team immediately gets better. He is probably gonna go down as one of the best veterans to be in like a team. Period. Like I'm waiting for the 50 for 50 for sure once that man retires because I feel like just Chris Paul's impact, being as old as he is and as long as he's played, is just insane.
I think that he's probably, in my opinion, the greatest floor general of all time. Like you're saying, Nate, no, you just don't see other people have that sort of impact on the court. He literally makes people smarter. Like their basketball IQ goes up playing with Chris
That's what I'm
Paul.
saying,
Like you
bro.
can see the way Phoenix like was playing when Chris Paul was hurt because of his shoulder. Like they if he didn't come back, they lost like immediately to the Lakers. So they were gonna lose to the injured Lakers because they don't have somebody that can guide them. He's like that big brother that everybody needs to kind of like, teach you like the path. That is literally Chris Paul right there. So I agree with
The J.
that.
Cole of
But
basketball, bro.
Bruh, heck no, he shows them the golden ball, bro.
This is the path.
It's like Space Jam. Every time Chris Paul gets on the team, he shows up with that bag, opens it with a glowing ball, and he gets the whole team in a circle. He's like, touch it. Why? Just touch it.
Just touch it, bro.
Just touch it.
wow. Now you gotta go. Now you gotta go awesome.
Yeah.
That's a clip right there, boys.
I can
I'm
definitely
talking about the ball in the
agree with
bag.
that.
Start when he says just touch it.
But I was talking to Nico about this. Like I don't know about y'all, but like I've been scrolling through like my Instagram, and I've seen a lot of like sports pages. They've been clowning Giannis, cause there was a clip where I saw KD cook him. I saw Blake Griffin dunk on him. And I was just seeing a lot of clips, and I was like, why are they only isolating Giannis? Like the whole team's not getting cooked. Like why is it that why is it that he's getting fucked up so hard, like clowned? You know what I mean? Not why is it that people are so focused on clowning him in particular, and like where I just feel like it shouldn't be all on him.
I agree it shouldn't be all on him, but I think that James Harden said it. I've been saying this for years. So I don't think Giannis is ever going to get a ring. This man is a definition of pure athleticism. I think that for some reason he's been in the league for like 6 years now, and he hasn't developed skill to match his athleticism. James Harden said that this man is just an athlete. Like he has no skill, and you can't like win. Like he doesn't bring enough to his team to be somebody that was just MVP. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's a monster in the paint, but you're also the person that they want to put the ball in last second, and you can't hit a jump shot. Like they know you're going to go drive. So they're about to make you pass it out, and then you have to rely on somebody else to win the game for you because you kicked it out. I think that until he develops skill to reach the point that they have to guard him, like on the 3-point line, at the mid range, and in the paint, he can't do anything because that's what is putting a lot of pressure on Chris Middleton, which he should definitely be stepping up because his whole thing is to shoot the ball. This man is like a pure shooter, and this man is like not hitting anything like when it comes down to it. So I do think as a team, they're still like missing like a piece that would probably help compensate for the fact that Giannis lacks some offensive skill when it comes to like shooting and like creating space. But until he I guess keeps improving as a player, that's why they're doing that to him because he's so limited on what he can do. It just looks like he just dunks the ball and that's it.
Did you guys see the final score from the game today?
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
But
Bucks 86-83. They won by a 3-pointer.
I'm glad you fixed that at the end because you were finna get the full wrath if you said Giannis had no skill. But the difference is that Giannis's skill doesn't really translate as well to today's version of basketball because basically, honestly, it's a lot has to do with Steph Curry and that generation. But shooting is so important right now that kind of that slashing playmaker isn't as thought of as being as skillful, but it still takes a lot of technique to be able to read basically the defense, be able to drive through, cut through, and even if you might not be able to, make a shot at the three, you still can go in that last second and draw that contact for the layup and shoot them free throws. You feel what I'm saying? So there's a lot of value to a player like that, but I do feel like in today's league, you can't be the only kind of superstar on your team to be able to hold it. Chris Middleton, he's a really, really solid role player, but I don't think he's anywhere near that superstar status like a lot of teams have. And it's the same thing kind of with Dame. I feel like it's a good comparison because Dame has a lot bigger of a bag, I guess I would say, than Giannis, in my opinion. But it's like, even though he has that shooting, he can drive to the basket, he can draw contact, he can make them clutch shots. If he doesn't have the support for him or the bench to, when he's not in, still score and produce, he's not going to be able to do anything. So I feel like it's less Giannis not being skilled enough, which he can always get a jumper, but you can't never. A lot of times players will go out and try to change their game. That'll mess up kind of their whole future in a way, if that makes sense. So I feel like it has to do with Giannis, still having a lot of room to develop, but it also has a lot to do kind of with that offense of the Bucks not really doing their best in the offseason to kind of give him the support he needs.
And yeah, I wanna chime in there as well, because I completely agree with you, Josh, that I think if in order for Giannis to get a ring in today's age, he's gonna have to develop his game more. Like there's just not an option. Or get somebody else who can facilitate for the areas of his game that are lacking. But especially in that clip where he got dunked on by Blake Griffin. I mean, if I remember it correctly, I don't know if I'm remembering it 100% correctly, play by play, but I'm pretty sure the situation is KD's driving down straight from the top of the key, and he dishes to Blake Griffin on a cut to the basket, and Giannis has to decide who he's going to defend. Yeah. And credit to him, that's probably one of the greatest scorers who's ever played the game, coming down the lane at you against Mr. Posterizer coming on the right. So what do you do? What do you do? You play KD, and then when he just dumps it to Blake Griffin, you have 6'8", 270 pounds already in the air, just going up to Yam. What do you do? I feel bad for him. I watched that clip and I was like, man, you got hoed by whoever was guarding Blake and whoever even attempted to guard KD, because they just ran a 2v1 on you. They just ran a fast break drill on just you. You got obliterated. And there's, I think Giannis has parts of his game he needs to improve to be a champion. I certainly think that he's a phenomenal player, obviously, but he's up against two people who are also, or have at least in the past been, of a similar caliber. Those aren't slouches, those two names I just threw out. So either you let KD score easy points, or you step up and guard him and go into a disadvantage at a dunk with Blake Griffin. So I think a lot of what's been happening to them this time is just what Nate said. He's up against too many big shots, too many guys who you would give the ball to in a clutch scenario, too many guys who can make that play. And so you just don't have an option but to guard him. You have to guard KD driving towards the paint, which means Blake gets to dunk on you. You have to guard Kyrie when he takes a step back, which means whoever you just put on him probably got cooked, and now he's coming down the lane, right? You don't have an option. So as a defensive player, I think it's most where it's been shining through, just because he's been stretched thin. Their whole team has been stretched thin defensively.
I do think Bucks are one of the better, I'd put them in the top 5 defensively as a team. They have Drew Holiday, CJ Tucker, Giannis. They are a defensive.
And their thing isn't defense. It's offense. They still lost game 2 by 40 points
because they couldn't score. That's their problem. They can't score. They have no scorers. That's their
problem. The Brooklyn Nets put up 125 points in game 2, though. They ran the score up pretty high.
I feel like the discrepancy. I kind of see. Yeah, I see what Jackson is saying. I feel like the discrepancy in their offense is higher than the peak of the Bucks' defense. If that makes sense.
That's more what I mean. Not that Milwaukee can't play defense, but if you look at, game 2 was obviously insane. But the first quarter of game 2, Brooklyn put up 36 points. Then they did 29, and then they did 30 back-to-back for the next quarters. as strong as your offense may be, if the team against you is averaging 32.5 points per quarter, like what do? Like you have to have a monstrous offense just to match that. And that's against a good defense. I'm just saying that I think the Nets, like y'all have said before, are a cheat code. Like I don't think there's really that much of an answer to that.
Oh yeah.
You know how mad I would be if I was a bench player and I'm like, all right, it's my time to sign, and I'm guarding James Harden, bro. I'd be pissed.
You had to get clipped.
But what I was gonna say though, like going back to what you said originally, Zay, I think one of the main reasons why Giannis just gets so much backlash and critique is because people just expect so much out of him. You know, being a past MVP, you expect to see your like these teams like that they're on go way further, and you expect them to do much more. And yeah, we got to get Giannis a supporting piece, like maybe get Dame over there. You know what I'm saying? But get him something because like Nate and Josh were saying, Chris Middleton, he's cold, but it's not enough. Like we're gonna need he needs more than just Chris Middleton. And like it kind of reminds me of Ben Simmons because with Ben Simmons on the Sixers, he didn't have that shooting arsenal either. And so once they get to a certain spot in the playoffs, it's kind of like they hit a brick wall. But then they get these key players like Tobias Harris, and then you see them start going better records and get higher up into the playoff bracket. So I mean, really, I think the main thing for Giannis is just like him working on his game, and then like also like getting with the office trying to get him some more support. But I think it's just a lot of expectation out of him, and I mean it makes sense because you would think that a past MVP would just keep on growing their game, but it looks like he kind of plateaued. That's what it feels like at least.
Yeah, that's respectable. That's definitely respectable. I don't really as far as it goes, I agree with y'all that like he does either need to like upgrade his game and develop that shot so he can do it all, or they need to get him someone like Jackson said that can pick up where his game lacks. And that's pretty much it on that one. Yeah, Bucks are finna lose.
Okay.
Damn.
No. I will
Other than
say,
them, I've also been seeing Trae Young. He's been cooking. He's been cooking.
He disrespectful.
Nah,
And he's very no.
That's Julian Newman plus, bro.
Personally, I like it. I like it when like young players, kind of come out and I guess you would say being disrespectful, shit talking, whatever you want to call it. I like that sort of competitor, but y'all think he's met his match with the Sixers, or are the Sixers gonna wave him bye-bye, or they're gonna take a bow on him, or
that game one, I wanted to say, good job, you did well, valiant effort. That's it.
Nah,
Because
bro.
I was like, this Sixers team, in my opinion, just outclasses the Hawks. The same way the Nets kind of just outclass the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's gonna reach the point that it's just skill versus skill, and unless Trae Young has one of the biggest duffel bags I've ever seen, it's not happening. I'm sorry, he is not carrying them like past the Sixers.
He got a pretty big double bag, bro.
He's gonna end up like Dame, where I think it was their last game where in OT Dame had shot for like, what was it, 8 for 9 or 7 for 9, and his the whole entirety of his team, like literally everyone else, shot for a combined, I think it was 1 for 19.
Yes, bro. That game was horrific.
Dame got the whole locker room in his duffel bag,
bro.
Dame needs to rescue him.
That duffel bag has cinder blocks in it, bro.
When I see Dame, I'm like, man, someone help this man, bro, please. I feel so bad for him, and I can't figure out why he stays.
It's that thing
loyalty
versus legacy, bro.
Yeah, that is his team, and that's what sucks for people like Dame. That their brand is that team. it would suck for him to have to like pull a KD because like for KD's career, for example, this man should have never left OKC in my opinion. The fact that he left, like, yes, I'm glad he got himself a ring. No matter how he got it, he got it. He's happy. He accomplished what he wanted to do. But in terms of legacy, it slightly like alters it a little bit. Not saying that it's like hindering him, but he's not as great as he could have been if he won that ring with OKC. In Dame's case, I just don't see them getting him the proper help. I do think that he needs to dip.
Bro,
that man needs to book a flight, bro.
You know what their help
He
for
needs to
him
book a
was?
flight.
They gave that man Robert Covington as the help for this season, bro. What? What do you?
I got y'all with the football equivalent. Dame is Larry Fitzgerald. He is an absolute OG who everyone respects and wants to win. But he's stuck with this team for so long, and he's going to be on, like Larry was on the Cardinals. He's not going to leave. He's going to try and stick it all the way through, and it's going to break everybody's hearts in the end.
Yeah.
Tough sight to see, bro.
True. Which I would say, I feel like it won't crush his legacy too much because I always gotta go back to my favorite player, that man D Rose, which he didn't leave. He got injuries and such and got a little booted. But even after him leaving Chicago and not being there and hooping for a bunch of different other teams, they still have so much love for him in that city. It makes no sense because he just had such a big impact. You feel what I'm saying? Like that man literally was like the best thing in Chicago for years in terms of basketball. So I feel like the things Dame has done in Portland can like never be forgotten, even if he does go to another team and get a ring or you try to go for a championship, because he's literally put everything and some out on the line for the Blazers.
Yeah. A great example is like LeBron. LeBron will never lose the love he has in Cleveland because he gave his all. Before he left, this man was just going to the finals with ass. Like that's all you can that's all you can say. Literally, that team should have not even made it to he carried them far enough to make it to the finals. He beat a Celtics. I was just sitting there like, how the hell did you beat that Celtics team, my guy? That had damn it, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett right out. He carried them. So like him leaving, you couldn't. As much as they were burning his jersey and stuff, nah, he gave too much for you guys. He should have been left, and rightfully so. He did, got himself a ring with the Heat, and then came back, and guess what? He got them a ring too. So I think that Dame has definitely left his legacy in Portland. That Dame time never going to go away. Right now, hot take: this man is the clutchest player in the NBA.
Facts.
I don't care what anybody. I don't care what anybody says, bro. I want the ball in Dame's hands with 5 seconds.
If you got 5 seconds,
sorry, bro.
No other player can do it.
Nah, bro. I want Iguodala all day.
Iguodala.
World on the line.
Damn.
Give me Iguodala.
I gotta give the last shot. Who would I give the last shot to?
To Julius Randle.
Oh, he's a catfish, bro. This man been hooping all season, bro. We get to the playoffs, Derrick Rose is the only hope. He not hooping, RJ not hooping, bro. It makes no sense.
It's scary. All you do, bro. There's no excuses,
bro.
Nah, to be honest though, I don't know what the Pistons were like. I don't know what their plan was when they to me, the Pistons they fucked it all up. I was like, y'all gave away what was it? Drummond?
Yeah.
Gave away Derrick Rose.
Blake Griffin.
They gave away Blake. I was like, what the fuck are y'all gonna do? Like, who's your next plan? What's your next plan? And it seems like ass is their next plan, so we're just gonna go with that then, I guess.
They drafted Killian Hayes. He immediately got hurt. It's tough.
Nah, dude, I'm telling you, bro. No, the Pistons got a hold, bro. Dude, I've been seeing all the memes and comments, bro. This man Blake Griffin is one of the funniest people alive, bro.
Oh, yeah,
they thought that this man was injured or like he just lost bounce. Dude, I'm talking about the first time they put him in the game, dude doing 2-hand dunks, bro. I was dying, bro.
You seen that video of the dude helping the guy out the wheelchair? I've seen that one. It's been referenced.
Bro, yeah.
Blake Griffin, once the Nets are there, they put the names just like James Harden and Kyrie, like helping him out the chair.
Bro,
he didn't.
I guess he really just did not want to. I guess he just didn't want to hoop for them, bro.
Not at all.
I wouldn't have.
I see why, bro.
He
Hey,
was
bro.
just sitting on the bench, and he was
He was
like,
cruising.
Bro,
"Is
it's
this
like
really what I want to do?"
it's like when Kawhi set out for like 40 plus games, bro, just because he didn't want to play.
And I, you know, and I can
Nah, he
imagine
wasn't
him.
going.
I can imagine him sitting on that bench with that robotic ass face of his, bro, watching
Stone
them
cold.
lose, bro. And they're down by 2, and they need a 3, and they're like, "Kawhi, help!"
He hit him with the hit him with the
Yeah, bro.
Oh no.
Heck nah.
I'm cooking them. And also, I was going to ask if y'all had to put Giannis with any other person to like. Okay, basically, if you were to build a team for him, like the dream team to win the championship, the dream team built around Giannis, what would that look like?
How many-
like, what can we do? It's a real question. Like,
Can we have as many superstars as we want?
I feel like
type
that's
shit, or-
cheating. You gotta get like
No,
some
you
solid
see
role
what I'm
players
saying?
in there.
Yeah.
That's the dream team for any.
At the
Give us
most-
one. We get one player to pair
At the
with.
most, you get 2 superstars, and like the rest are just kind of like, I guess, role players.
Oh, bet. I'm straight then. All right, I got you. I go ahead and get y'all with my first one. So, first role player, you know, I guess he a role player to some people. To me, you know, that's a superstar in the making. But D Rose got to be a point. He's the facilitator. He can shoot. He got the floater and everything. He can space the floor out for Giannis, get him inside. But at 2 guard for my superstar, I gotta put Clay out there because we were talking about people who he needs a shot. Clay, all you need, Giannis drives in, puts it out off the dribble, instant. Especially if he's healthy, you can't be matched, bro. So if I feel like I had to pick a role player and a superstar to add to him, that's the 2 people I would pick: a good facilitator and just a spot up, not miss shooter to add to his game.
that's pretty solid right there. Right now, you know what I would do actually. So I like this Bucks team. Like, don't get this Bucks team is not a bad team. It's just whether or not their players step up. So I have an interesting take. I think that I'd want to trade out Brooke Lopez for Tobias Harris. I think that type of switch up, because Tobias is quicker. He pretty much does the same thing that Brooke Lopez does, except better and more reliable at it. Like, Brooke is getting a little bit older. That, like, they shouldn't keep expecting so much for him. But I think Tobias, even though he's probably like on like the backward slope of his career, he can like score. Because if you have Giannis pretty much facilitating the ball, being a slashing playmaker, look, now you have Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris. Like, pretty much Chris Middleton has another certified shooter around him. Because Chris Middleton is their shooting guard, so he can now get more open shots. And Tobias Harris at power forward can also create his own shots because he can dribble as well. So I just think that, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a shooting guard for me. I just think that they need to switch those 2 out, and I want to see what happens. You know, that's my take right there.
Alex, what you think?
Well, I'll get out of the way. I'm a very casual person, so you know what I'm gonna say. Curry and LeBron James.
Bruh, imagine Giannis, Curry, and LeBron running on the fast break, bro.
They're gonna win though.
You know, I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure if they'd have the chemistry.
I don't think
Like
they
the 3 of them. No.
I would never
They said
touch
about
the
Nets.
paint,
What is
You
your
like a
point,
ball
bro?
hog, like back and forth.
bro.
Hey man, no, I got you right here. I want to hear what y'all think about this. Take 2. Let's take 2. I'm thinking Luka, and I'm thinking Jimmy Butler.
Shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Mr. Lockdown and Mr. Clutch.
Yeah.
Jimmy been
Alright.
goofy for me recently, especially this season. I'm gonna need Jimmy to get himself together.
I don't know what he's been doing this season. I've been seeing that too.
The reason I'm thinking that is because Luka. I mean, he's Luka. He's absurdity at like its purest form when it comes to basketball. He just be doing nonsense, but it's entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
And for the most part, you have to guard him. Like, there is no range at which he's not a threat. So it'll take some of that pressure off of just crowding Giannis down low. And Jimmy Butler, because he's another guy who had a team all over his shoulders, all up in his duffel bag, and getting the pressure off of him by balancing it with two like threats who are, Jimmy is a mid-range threat as well, but like two guys who can go up and monster the rim. I feel like that would be an interesting team combo with like a lethal shooter like Luka, especially a shooter that can make his own space, because that dude just shoots over people sometimes. He just decides he wants to pull it.
Nah, that's going to be monstrous. I actually have to switch out my person because he just came to my mind, and this man is one of the most underrated people for some reason. Switch out Tobias Harris for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
not bad.
This man, Jaylen Brown, I found out the other day that they didn't want him to play in the NBA, that his IQ level is probably like the highest in terms of just like smart. This man like got his master's before he finished like college and like joined the NBA. This dude is like ridiculously like smart.
Yeah.
And like he applies that to like when he plays basketball. Like he learns to do stuff very well. And like, yeah, Jason Tatum is like shining for the Celtics, but literally they're like low-key neck and neck. Jason Tatum is just a bigger name. But this man, Jaylen Brown, around that, disgusting.
This man
disgusting
got a
right
whole anime backstory, bro. The smartest kid growing up. They didn't want him to hoop. Hell no.
they never understood me when I was
used to try to grab him on my fantasy team. I'm not even gonna lie. That's Jaylen Brown is one of my pickups on my fantasy team. I usually try to grab him and some other ones.
Nico, who you got?
Man, dude. So I'm thinking Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And Brandon Ingram.
I love Brandon Ingram. That's a good one.
That's good.
I like your choice.
So cold, bro.
Your choices are within reason.
Yeah.
Because look, like what I'm thinking is, so Bradley Beal, he gets off like every game, and he has that shooting effect that Giannis, doesn't have. So he's always there, for that three when they leave, that arc open when Giannis is there, you know what I'm saying? And then with Ingram, he's just versatile. Like he's clutch, and he can drive, he can shoot. He does whatever he needs to do, and he just be hooping. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those two pieces really bring him up to a next level, and them as well.
KD right there.
Them as well, because Bradley Beal needs some help too. That's what So
this man said Walmart Kate. At least make it Target or something, bro.
Walmart KD.
No, bro, he's just a great value KD, bro. Brandon Ingram is literally a great value.
Younger.
You can't tell me otherwise. You cannot.
It's still developing.
KD at his age was doing more. What are you talking about?
Don't downplay that man, bro. He still got time to grow.
I'm not downplaying him because look at who I'm saying he's the great value of. That's KD right there.
He gotta be great value, bro.
Who do they used to call great value? LeBron, bro.
Great value. They don't even seal the packages properly. Kirkland got some pride.
Nah,
you know? Like it's
because I was just thinking people used to call what's his name, Gerald Green, great value LeBron. And I'm thinking like you can't do that. They did. Bro. Yes, bro.
They did.
So you can't say that about that man. There's levels. Bro.
That's just downright disrespectful to LeBron. I'm sorry. That's downright disrespectful to LeBron.
Josh, what were those knockoff Fruit Loops that you and I saw in the store? I can't remember what they were called.
Oh my god.
It was like Fruitios or something stupid like that. And it was literally Fruit Loops with a different word. That's what he is.
They replaced Toucan Sam with like damn big Dodo Tom or something.
No, that's not follow your nose, bro. Chase your nostrils. That's yes, bro.
This been good so far, man. We just burned like 45 minutes on one topic. What else?
Man, if I had to give him two people, I would give him. Steph, because he's just a shooter, and I do think that y'all are right. He does need a shooter, and that's like I think that's the right way to go with him. He needs a shooter, and I would give him. I would say Steph and Rudy Gobert. And the reason why I would say Rudy Gobert is because, he can help down low, but mainly because of his defense. I feel like, he's just the best defender in the league. And I feel like if he can get pokes and if he can defend very well on the offense, then he can kind of take it easy. I mean, if he can defend on the opponent's offense and maybe open up the floor with the steal, get Giannis doing what he does so he can, slash play make. I feel like it would be kind of like a 50-50 then. You'd have Rudy Gobert locking down the opponent's defense, and then you would leave it up to Giannis or Steph to open up their defense or wet them up if they don't step up close enough.
Dude, I would hate to see those two on a team. Could you imagine the offensive boards?
That's a skyscraper build, bro.
Steph going to get 3 shots.
It would be a snap.
This is going to be, oh, I missed that one. Giannis, hold on. Bring it back. Let me shoot that.
Double team, bro. That's oop galore right there, bro. Like, that's like, that's disgusting.
What other topics you got for us, Silas?
All right, and the second topic that I got for y'all, still along the lines of sports. Did any of y'all pay for that Logan Paul?
I could never.
Look, I'm just I wanted to know if any of y'all paid, because if you did, I was gonna clown you because that was some bullshit. But that's just my take on it. But I mean, were y'all satisfied with that? Like, I mean, in my opinion, I think it went exactly how I thought it was going to go, because I was just thinking back to when he fought Manny Pacquiao. It was kind of the same thing. That's Floyd's style of boxing. That's just how he fights. But I was low key expecting him to give him some hands, because he's not as obviously he's just not as good. I was expecting to see some hands, but what did y'all think about it? I thought that shit was trash.
No, it definitely went exactly as expected. I literally knew I was going to see that, so I was damn to pay anything for that. I had people sending me links just in case I needed to watch, because I was like, I'm not going. But my thing about the fight, so when you brought up the Manny Pacquiao fight, so in my opinion, that fight was a lot better because Manny Pacquiao is somebody that's also a very established person. That was brought together in terms of media hype of them wanted to see greatness sort of thing. This fight is more along the lines that these people just wanted to see Logan get folded, which obviously Floyd doesn't fight to fold people. This man fights for money. This man fights to win, and he fights to, keep his longevity, because this man has been doing this for a minute now. So yeah, you got to see this man, Floyd just dodging him this man was Mr. Miyagi, bro. I'm talking about Logan. Some of those punches were looking stupid,
Did
bro.
you see the percentages? That man Logan hit 10% of his punches. You know how many Floyd hit? 50%. Logan threw 300 punches. Floyd threw maybe under 100.
And he had more hits too.
Yeah,
Floyd had more hits.
84.
Yeah, so Logan Paul, he threw 73 jabs, landed 7 of them. He threw 144 power punches, landed 21 of them. So in total, he was 28 for 217 punches. Floyd Mayweather threw 14 jabs and landed 7 of them, which is the exact same amount that Jake landed. He threw 93 power punches and landed 36 of them. So as total was 43 for 107.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't think this fight was a fight for anything but to cement Jake Paul's legacy. They just called the Mayweather team and said, "We'll pay you X amount of millions if you literally just last 8 rounds and let this man say that he went 8 rounds with the greatest." Because there was literally the entire fight, right? Logan kept on holding Floyd, right? And there was one round that Floyd got mad and he minked his ass, and literally he was like, "Oh shit," he broke character, so he had to hold him up so he didn't hit the ground and pass out. Because I'm pretty sure that's somewhere in the contract that we're not supposed to see.
There's a huge clip, and that's what I was about to go into with this fight. They chose it's very strategic. They chose the guy who's all about making money and does not care whether or not you think he won. He just cares about the decision. And then they took all the pressure off this guy. No judges. It's an exhibition match. Doesn't matter, right? Only thing is public image. And if no one gets knocked out, it's just up to the public. And this dude's whole thing is not giving a single crap about what anyone else thinks because he's Floyd Money Mayweather. He's too rich. He doesn't care. So he walked in there. He let Logan make a fool of himself in the ring, throwing all sorts of wild punches and missing them all. He tagged him a few good times, made it a fight. And at the end of the day, he walked out, like 20 million, 30 million richer? Like, you up the cash ante too much. I think if they wanted a true fight, which obviously they don't, just put Logan in there against some young up-and-comer who's only got his pride to his. Watch that dude absolutely blast Logan Paul the entire fight and come for his neck, because that's what a fighter who only has their pride on the line will do. They will seek to win. But why would Floyd aim to win? Like, there's almost no point. It's not even worth his time. If he gets the same amount of money, win or lose, because there's no judges, just go in there and don't get hit. Just tag him a few times, don't get hit, juke around, do your whole thing, and walk out a rich man. Like, I was just sitting there like, I mean, it's the same thing with the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight. Like, Ben Askren's retired, bro. He's made his money. And you told Doughboy you were gonna pay him $22 million just to step in the ring. And so he walked in there looking musty, didn't train, like, just why would you? Like he doesn't care. Like,
Dude,
why would it matter to him if he loses?
Yeah, I knew he did not get one fuck. And like, one thing that I have noticed,
he got hit once and went, wow, that's crazy, and then walked out with $20 million. Like, what?
Nah, low key, before you say what you gotta say, Zay, too, that reminded me, after the fight, they interviewed Floyd, and he's quoted said, "When it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm the best," is what he had to say about the fight.
Yes, sir.
Bro, he's a master finesser, bro. He got that bag.
He always gets the bag. He always gets the
Money
bag.
Mayweather.
He scalped them. It'd be like if you told Tom Brady you'd pay him $30 million just to be in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, he'd show up. He'd probably throw one pass and leave.
He in the halftime show and shit.
Yeah, dude, if you told me I just had to play a snap in the Super Bowl to get my money, I'm playing one snap. I'm not touching it. I'm going to be partying while they're still playing. Like, they can keep the game going. I'm going to go to the yacht. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, but I would say one thing I have noticed about them, and kind of why I just have like, I see what they're trying to do. And if they really want to be like considered actual fighters and get that actual respect, so far I've noticed is that they, not saying that they don't have the right to pick who they fight since they're coming from like a different industry, but they kind of go after the people who are already retired and haven't like been back inside of that fighting element for a minute. Like Ben Askren, I think before he accepted that contract, his last fight had been 2 to 3 years prior. And even Mayweather, he hadn't been, he had been retired. And then afterwards, I saw a quote saying that he said he's never stepping back into the ring again. He's going back into retirement. Like, it's like y'all said, he smelled money. He did what his name says, and he just walked away because he honestly had nothing to prove to anybody.
Yeah.
If anything, they were the ones paying him for an opportunity to prove themselves. Well, Logan was paying for the opportunity to prove himself. Like, he was there for Mayweather. Mayweather was not there for him.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game with like some friends, and literally I heard like a lot of people talking about, oh, why is it an exhibition match? And like, there's a thing where it comes to like rank and status and like things like UFC and boxing that, like, if you're not worthy of being where you're at, you don't get like that type of respect. Kind of like what Zay was saying, right? So you have all perennial, like, top of the class Floyd Mayweather, never lost before. And you're telling me you wanted a YouTuber to actually have a documented match with him? Like, that's downright disrespectful on Floyd Mayweather's career. And then it's disrespectful to all the other people that he's fought during that time. You see what I'm saying? So, like, there's no way that you can expect something like that to happen with where they're at. So what Jackson said with them fighting somebody that's maybe in like not like well known like league, but like they're still like considered like a boxer, something like that would be cool to see. But also they're probably still after making money as like their top goal and not technically like their boxing career. Because if that was like their goal, their
Oh
boxing
yeah,
career, they could definitely go and like they can get with who they are, they could definitely get good fights in. But that's not what it is. It's more about money. So
oh for
that's
sure,
why they took the route that they took. So you got
oh
to
for
like
sure.
keep that into perspective.
And even with Tyron Woodley, he's not retired, but he's going through some shit with the UFC. Uh, so he's technically he's been out of it. You can consider it because he got cut, and so even with Tyron Woodley, like that's a bad dude, man. Like I wouldn't have done that. But another interesting thing that I've noticed is that they always try to take people who are fighters, yes, but like they try to grab people from MMA and bait them into a boxing ring. You
Mhm.
know, and to me, it's kind of like not saying that they're just really that good or anything, but to me, it would be like, baiting, like a tiger or a lion into water. If you're a hippo or you're some sort of aquatic, like, yeah, they know how to fight, right? Obviously, they can throw hands. But when they're in the UFC ring, they throw hands, elbows, knees, kicks. Like it's not just you know what I'm saying? Like it's not just hands. And with all the grappling and the hugging and shit, like I don't like that. But I don't I just kinda can't put any sort of respect on it because they keep grabbing MMA fighters. But I did see that Jake Paul on Twitter called out Canelo, and I was just kind of like, now that's
A little
now
too
you
big for
might
your
got more
britches, big
Nah,
man.
bro.
and
That man
that's
Jake.
what I want to see. I don't think Canelo
So,
will ever give him the time of day.
He shouldn't.
However, I want him to. I want him to.
so what I told Josh pre the Ben Askren fight is in terms of boxing, I vastly prefer Jake to his brother, only because yeah, he's cocky, yeah, he's arrogant, but he put money on the table to go out against Conor McGregor like 6 months into training how to box. And I was like, look, like you're stupid, like you're an idiot. Like that man is a premier striker. Yes, he lost to Floyd. He will not lose to you. Like he will come in there and beat you a different color purple. Like that's all that's gonna happen. But what I'm saying is he didn't back down publicly from his offer. Like he was gonna do it and he was gonna go in there and get thrashed. And the reason I like Jake is he's like the perfect level of deluded to be a boxer in that I think he truly thinks that he's good. And that he's not terrible. Like his form isn't terrible.
Hey,
He's clearly been training.
sometimes if you fake it hard enough,
But
sometimes if
right,
you fake it hard enough,
that's what I'm saying. He actually has some latent potential because I feel like he actually believes in himself. Like Jake believes that if he trains hard enough, he can become a boxer, which he can. And he's got excellent trainers and round the clock care. Like he has the potential to become a pretty decent boxer at minimum. But his brother Logan is just smarter. He's just in it for the money. Logan's always been the businessman between the two. He's also made some stupid decisions, but he's always been a little bit more level-headed. But I mean, I like Jake coming in there and just throwing all caution to the wind. And actually, he may have rigged the Askren fight, but calling out Canelo and calling out Conor McGregor, like he's stupid, and I wish one of them would take that fight. But at least he's cocky stupid and not annoying stupid. Like he's coming out the way a fighter should. Like I'm gonna fold everybody, come for me. He just keeps choosing people that should not give him the time of day, which is why I'm like, come on, just Jake, just look up like top, welterweight to midweight boxer this year, and pick that guy, and and see what happens. Like if you want to be a boxer, beat somebody good, and that's what everyone's been telling him. So instead of going for a superstar, find you some kid who doesn't have that brand name, but is, a current belt holder. There you go. Go beat a belt holder. Everyone will respect you if you can put a belt holder down because those guys, they've only got their pride and the belt that they're wearing. Like, it's not about money to those guys. If you're wearing a championship belt in any fighting sport, that is your pride, and you got to have that taken from you. So I'm hoping that he does something like that. We'll see.
Yeah,
But I
feel
think
like
he's a far better boxer than his brother.
I feel like that's the difference and the problem that I have with the Paul brothers is that, like, if they really went about it the right way that most people coming up in boxing do, is, going to these smaller gyms, getting acclimated, getting their, hands right and everything. But literally all they've done is talk a lot of shit and spend a lot of money because they know they'll make it back immediately as soon as they get on that table, as soon as they do them interviews, start posting, like, especially Jake Paul specifically, I feel like he posts and talks so confident because he knows no matter what he say, his money will bail him out, and whatever he pays to bail him out, he'll make back threefold by whatever he does whenever it comes to any of those fights. So I feel like if they actually wanted that respect, they would actually go about that kind of that right route that you were talking about, like maybe finding like a good champion welterweight who doesn't really have as much to put on the table. But I feel like just looking at their YouTube career and a lot of the nonsense they did there, and it's bringing it on to boxing, I feel like their mind isn't in the right spot to actually want to be a champ. It's more of saying, oh, if I can spend enough money to say I have the legacy here, I can tweet this, and this, and still make money from it, even if I'm not posting to YouTube or doing extra stuff. So I feel like it's more of just they're holding this business side and just trying to make as much money as possible by making much noise because they'll never make it back anyways. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Alex, did you watch the fight?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Bro, so I mean, like, so watching boxing for the first time, I was like, I was hella disappointed. Like, so hearing that it was like a draw.
Yeah.
But then later on, I learned that so it was an exhibition match, so like didn't matter. But like, I feel like for $50, it still wasn't worth it. Like, I mean, I'm like, all you just watch is you watch like two grown-ass men hugging like the whole fight. Like, for $50, bro, you could, bro. I mean, for 50, like,
Oh, you should come over here, bro.
come on, bro.
It was $50.
yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy,
It was actual
that's
robbery.
almost a new PS5 game.
Honestly, bro. You could play Fight Night and let me see a better fight than that nonsense, bro.
You could go on and download UFC 3 and buy a DLC and then go in there and stage a fight between those two, and it probably would have been more worth your time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you would have enjoyed it at least.
It can't be as big as a disappointment when Mike Tyson came back to fight
Roy Wood Jones.
Yeah.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones Jr.
Now that
Bad.
was really two grown men hugging. That's what that was. They were settling their differences. They were hugging it out.
It was Roy Jones.
They were talking about it. They maybe salsa'd a little bit. They got a little spicy with their feet. That one was disappointing. And
They was just getting tired, bro. Them bodies wasn't moving like they used to. So that was.
Okay,
They were tricking us with the clips, bro. I'm talking about that boy, Mike Tyson, bro. I swear, when you saw a Mike Tyson clip training, I was like, damn, bro. I still wouldn't want to be the way in any of those punches, bro. That's what I was saying.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, I feel like Mike Tyson would have been a beautiful matchup in his prime for either of those two, just to show them how stupid they look. Because, like you said, Floyd is like, he's the butterfly, bro. He's going around there, he's tagging you, he's racking up his points, being hard to touch, that whole thing. Mike just, he just put his forehead right to where it needed to go and put his hands up. It's like, come on, like, we're going to slug it out. And it would have been over in 3 punches. Like, that would have been the whole fight. His little signature hip head combo with the right hand, and both Paul brothers are seeing Fortnite default dances floating around their heads. Like, that's it. And I feel like that's what really they need to have an exciting fight. They care.
Bro, he probably low key still could fuck around and do that. Even that.
No, I was thinking the same.
That man is he looked like a fiend.
They
or something,
should
bro.
hit up Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson lately is also seeming like he's trying to become more active again, just in like social media presence. That would be a great thing to help both of them, like money wise, fame wise, and then I guess they would even have somewhat more like respect because it's Mike Tyson. Even with him being the age that he's at,
I think they'd have
it still means something.
Yeah, they'd have to shorten the rounds for sure.
They definitely have to shorten the rounds. I don't think he could do 8.
But low key, after the Roy Jones Jr. fight, like if you look the interview when they were sitting side by side, Roy was sitting there like heaving and leaned over, and that man Mike Tyson looked like a fiend. He was jumping around and just bouncing. I don't know what, pre-workout or whatever he takes. Yeah, that man was off that adrenaline, so he might be able to do it.
Put Mike Tyson on one end of a table, just like the Russian slap fights, and put one of the Paul brothers on the end, and make them link left hands, and just let them trade gloved right hand punches until one of them goes down. Just
that's one punch right there.
Hopefully, Mike goes second.
But I mean,
like it's gonna
I'd pay money to watch that.
Mike Tyson's gonna be like, hey, you might want to put your mouthpiece in as a rocket ass, bro.
Hell no. I mean, hey, but doesn't Mike Tyson, so does he have like a cartoon show or something?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, Mike Tyson Adventures.
Mike Tyson Adventures, yes, bro.
That show was hilarious.
Bro, I couldn't imagine being in a ring with Mike Tyson in his prime, bro. Just imagine every time you blink, he closer.
It's the third round. Like, you probably got a floating rib by this point. Like, you are busting out in all types of sweat. Anytime you heave in, he's just got his gloves and he's tucked up, walking to you like what do you do? Like, he was the worst type of boxer in that his whole thing was come straight for you and just slug you out. And like, no, you couldn't run. It's a ring. Like, that's it.
You can't run, bro.
Yeah.
Watching the old Tyson highlights just hurt, bro. Watching them dudes take those shots, like, oh.
If that was me, as soon as he hit me the first time, I don't care if it actually knocked me out or not, bro. I'm on that mat, damn it.
You're not getting up, bro.
I'm not getting up,
Instantly, bro.
You gonna take a dive, bro.
Spaghetti knees, bro. I'm talking about. I'm finna play it off, bro. I'm gonna fall out the ring. God damn it.
I'm finna think this nigga dead, bro.
He's gonna be doing that like WWE acting where like flips over the ropes. Like,
no, I feel like if I take too many hits, bro, I'm gonna eat one maybe, and then the second one is literally gonna blow my exoskeleton out my skin, bro. And then I'm gonna
this man played too much Mortal Kombat.
Bro, you're gonna see my skeleton in the corner, bro, with the gloves still attached on it, and my skin flaps just in the fucking mat, bro.
I'm convinced if you took a gut shot from Mike Tyson, your vision would start doing what like all the old CODs would do when you held the sniper down too long. Just like playing everywhere. I think we do it.
You gonna get hit, bro. You gonna get hit in the head, bro. Y'all remember the episode of SpongeBob where he rewinded that man's he reminded that TV show.
No, he rewinded it.
Yes, bro. He can rewind your life, bro.
Hell nah.
Shit goofy, bro.
I'm gonna be an infant.
Dude, you gonna be out long enough to watch a feature-length movie up there, bro. You're not coming back.
Nah, see, Mike Tyson's one of those people. I'd shoot him.
He said, "Fuck hands,
I'm
bro."
Sorry. There are certain people you just don't throw hands with. That's one of them. He would get all 9 in the clip.
Hey, bro, you better hope you're McCree out here because he's fast.
Start dodging them hoes, bro.
I ain't never seen a man faster than a bullet, bro.
No, I'd be damned if he was up like this and I watched him dodge one like this. Boy, when I tell you I'd hit the fastest sprint in my life, bro.
I'm not fast enough.
Y'all should do that shit in the air trying to get people to come help you. You just be trying to get
Nah, forget that. If I see him dodging a bullet, I'm ending myself before he touches me, bro. Whatever he's about to do to me is out of this world, bro. Hey, I'm not with that shit. I'm not with that, bro. Fuck that.
I got a quintessential question for y'all. It's been a thing, like a debate on TikTok that I've seen recently. How many 7 or preschoolers could you take, right? And I'm thinking for the average person, it's probably like 40 preschoolers at a time is what you could take if they're all legitimately out to get you, right? Because eventually they're gonna bog your legs down, and one of them's gonna jump on your back, and then they're gonna pin you down. How many preschoolers do you think Mike Tyson's gonna take in a row? Like, he's got to be up in the 300s.
He'll punch one, and he'll just fly back to like 500 of them.
I was like, could you imagine an ungloved Mike Tyson right-hander to some 6-year-old's head?
I got a vision, bro. You know what it's gonna look like, bro?
What?
Madara at the beginning of the Ninja War, bro. You're gonna see that one preschool, bro. They gonna start flying.
Hell no.
Yeah, the camera.
You know what I'm seeing?
Like blowing up in the air.
I'm seeing them hit this little 6-year-old Billy with a jab, bro. And his hand's gonna go through his head, and he's gonna be hanging off his arm like a skewer, bro.
The green
He's gonna be skewering them kids.
Hell no, bro.
He's gonna be skewering them.
Oh, bro. What's that scene from fucking Invincible, bro?
Yeah,
He was on the train, bro. That's it.
I do. That's exactly what I was thinking, bro. Dude, I think any person like that's just decently active should at least be able to fold like 60.
Nah,
like,
but you gotta think about the strategy. Like for me, you grab the first, you find like the longest one. You pick them up by the ankles and you start spinning. You can at least get like 100 like that. Then you throw them and then you just get to the hands. You feel what I'm saying?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Who said just hit? I'm out here drop kicking folks, bro.
Nah. See, all y'all acting like this till they end up being these new kids, because we all know these new kids act way older than we ever did, bro. I'm looking at these 6th graders like, you tell me you're not a junior in high school, bro? Like, what's wrong with you?
Hey, he's not lying, bro.
He's not like
Middle schoolers, bro. I saw a middle schooler. This nigga's in the fucking 8th grade and he's 6'8", bro. No.
Yeah. It's all fun and games for all these preschoolers, 5'6".
Dude, that's gonna be so funny. The day that I see a damn 5'8" preschooler, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, buddy, Tommy, come over here, bro. Now you're with me. Let's fold these dudes, bro. Because I'm not going, bro. I'm not going,
You gonna give him a lollipop before the fight, bro. Thumbnail just gonna be this nigga John Giannis, the 6th grader, bro. Now what's that movie with World War Z? Where all them zombies are climbing up, bro? It's just gonna be a bunch of 6th graders, bro.
Oh, World War Z, yeah.
Bro, I know exactly the scene you're talking about, bro.
Yes. You remember when they piled their bodies so high, they grabbed that fucking helicopter,
Yes,
bro.
Oh, yes, bro.
That shit was wild.
Oh, they fucked that movie actually kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
If zombies are like that, bro, just take it.
Zombie virus turn everyone into Usain Bolt
You
mixed with
can't.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm scared too.
Bro, I mess with like the damn Walking Dead zombies, but those can get folded, bro. No, those zombies, I'd be terrified,
that I Am
bro.
Legend type beat, bro. Nah, just go ahead and kill me.
Nah, bro, not when the zombie looking at me like.
Oh, bro.
You're telling me that I get in the car and I'm whipping and I look behind me and one of them zombies is just like pacing me, bro. No, I'm gonna shoot myself.
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro. On the Witch from on the Left 4 Dead.
Bro,
The witches. No, bro, I'm out.
You be going crazy.
It's like don't there's no way you eat this much lead. Like, oh, I hate those.
Bro, you can't even look at them, bro. Look at that.
Everyone in the party just throwing their headset when they see that little icon like blank has startled the witch. It's like, why'd you go and do that? Like, please.
If you don't got the pump shotty, bro, it's over, bro.
Nope.
You got to crown us. There was a movie, and like the zombies on this movie were just ridiculous, bro. Have y'all ever seen Night of the Living Dead?
Bro.
Yeah.
That old ass zombie movie,
I know
bro.
exactly what you're gonna say.
But bring more cops. Bro, they had the walkie-talkie on the police cars, bro. Bring more cops, bro. Just eating fucking the cops up every time they brought a police squad, bro. That shit was ridiculous. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see that scene, bro. That shit is ridiculous, bro.
Bro, anytime that they make the undead in any movie or show, like the vampires from JoJo's or something like that, bro, it's like, why do they have to be more OP than me? Like, of course I'm not surviving, bro. Like, did you see what he just did? Like, no. Like, those stupid World War Z zombies are clearing 30 feet with a single jump. It's like, that dude is like why? Like, why can't he just be so
this
normal?
man is damn it. Canon, like Superman that can leap tall mountains, bro. You just put him into a zombie, bro.
They were clearing cities in like 5 minutes, bro. Like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And there's so many. Like, what do you do? Like, there's nothing to be done. You just kill yourself. That's it. Like,
Fucking
Not
parkour.
even that. It's just sometimes I feel like they be setting these people up in situations that they know they can't win, bro. But the people don't know that they can't win. But it's like we're watching and we're like, hey, bro, you know you're fucked, right? they try anyway, and hats off to them. They try.
bro, I got one for you. A Quiet Place, right? I'm just saying those monsters. Great design, phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, John Krasinski did a magnificent job, and so does Emily Blunt. They do phenomenally in that. And the second one's good too. But like, I don't know, bro. I was watching, and I was like, do you know how clumsy people are, bro? Like I feel like those monsters would have had everyone by now.
You drop
know
a
how many
pan or
times
something,
I
bro.
stub my toe on something when I don't mean to, and just go like that's it. Like I'm dead. Like I get my head cut off. Like that's the whole thing. So I was like, yeah, the monsters are like, there are so many things that you do that aren't quiet, bro. Like, what if all of a sudden you got to sneeze? Like, what do you do?
Bro, what if you got a fart, bro?
Exactly, bro. Your whole home base. That's it. Like if you don't, like, there's no way to control it. It's just
fart in the.
and then your whole family. Like, these monsters are so absurd. I was like, what happens if you just don't eat for 4 hours and your stomach grumbles, and then this monster just decapitates your mother because of that? Like, you didn't even do nothing wrong.
It's like, you're crucial, bro.
Bro, he's just gonna tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah. Hey, bro, could you turn that down?
Hey, bro, I told you not to make no noise.
They reveal the monster at the end. It's just some dude who's trying to get some peace and quiet finally in the forest. One of them Buddhist guys who just like, I told you, shut up.
I feel like the Bird Box is the like trash version of A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Dude, the Bird Box memes were so funny though, where they would just be like the Bird Box demon be like, "Hey, bro, Jedi ain't go naked over here." All the dudes.
No, bro, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the ending, I had to try so hard not to laugh, bro. I had to hold it in, bro. And when they got to the paradise, bro, and then you just see all these people, just, and she was like, why are they okay? And then the lady was like, we're all blind. I was like,
it was like a 3-hour movie for that.
Bro, I was like, oh.
The biggest pop up, bro.
Which it makes sense, but damn. Like, that's what it takes to survive that shit, bro. That is tough.
Yeah, bro.
It was something I tried. I was like, if I laugh at this, I know where I'm going. So I got to hold it in. I got to
I don't know, bro. I don't know about y'all, but I can't watch horror movies no more without just making it a comedy, bro. Like,
they suck now. They're horrible.
I tried. I just watched yesterday with some friends the Conjuring, what is it called? The newest one, bro.
Oh,
it's
the one where the devil made me or something. Like
yes. Yes. I don't know. We rated it like a 5 out of 10 at best.
Damn. Bro, okay. The issue is, and this is my opinion, so many horror movies rely on less psychological horror, because those are now just called thrillers, but they rely on legitimately causing a flight or fight reaction in you. Like, and I suppose that for a time and for a generation of people who grew up without, like, I guess, blockbuster level quality on their screens in their room, like you had to go to a movie theater to see something like that, it would be a lot more scary. But I mean, jump scares, like we all been getting jump scares since that Maze video on YouTube where all of a sudden it just cuts to that girl's face and her screaming. Like, that type of stuff, we've been so inundated. Like The Nun. Did y'all watch The Nun?
That shit was
goofy.
Yeah.
It's goofy.
It's 2 out of 10. That might be a 1 out of 10. That might be a 1 out of 10.
And it's because the only.
We all fell asleep on that.
But we were watching it together. We fell asleep watching it twice.
Well, because the only like scare factor that it has are jump scares. But I mean, everything is so inundated with jump scares. You're just gonna see. Like, could you name a movie that's got better jump scares than horror games like Outlast or like Resident Evil? Like, not
movie that
actually. The first time I watched Insidious, I think.
Yes, Insidious.
Now
Insidious
those Mr. Boogie jump scares, I can't even cap, bro. They got my ass, bro.
And so,
like when they would jump scare when he was watching the
But
the
that's
film.
Sinister.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sinister.
My
Yeah.
bad, Sinister. Fuck.
Sinister's up there.
Mr. Boogie, bro. He was
Sinister. There we go. Sinister was probably one of the only movies that like the jump scares actually got my ass.
Yeah, and that's
Bro,
that's in part because they rely on psychological horror too. Like the enemy in quotes like is genuinely scary. Like it's not just like, oh, evil nun, or like, oh, evil girl crawling out of TV, you know, like it's a pretty good like thing.
Yeah, those what were they, Norwegian kids, bro? They were speaking another language.
they were like,
That's what it sounded
like
like, bro.
Slovenian or some shit, bro.
Yeah.
It was something wild.
I recommend it if y'all want to be scared. Just play horror games. Play Alien Isolation.
That game.
Tell me that game's not scary.
I'm not built for
If you
scary games.
Josh,
do
you
it.
should stream that.
My adrenaline just starts.
Josh, you should stream that one.
Hey, bro, if you stream a scary game, I'll stream a scary game.
Yeah, y'all should stream
I'll make a switch.
Sir.
I'll make
Y'all
a
should
switch,
stream
bro.
But you get the hard, you get the worst one because I'm not built like that.
Y'all
Yeah,
got
I'm not even lying, bro. If y'all put me up to the test, bro, I'm probably gonna be built like a bitch, bro, trying to play this game.
Hey, Josh,
I got you,
Josh,
bro.
play it with a mic in and don't have a party chat connected because the game is set up to where the creature can hear your voice. Like if you went like like as it walked by, it'll like snap on you and just come after you, bro.
No, sir. I live by myself. I can't do that.
Nah, bro. I'd be done for. The first thing I see the creature walk by, I'm in the bush. What the fuck? Yeah, it's over with, bro. I can't do it.
Funniest thing I ever watched people were streaming that is they set it up to where their chat could donate and it would read the text message. But the chat figured out that they could loop it through like their mic if they just played like certain like of the higher level emotes. And so they could get the creature's attention by donating like $1. And so there were these dudes that were just playing like screaming emotes into the mic randomly to get the creature to come sprinting to the streamer. It was hilarious.
Damn.
So he'd be in the middle of doing something. They just start playing an emote. And you could hear the thing. He's like screaming and trying to run around. It was great.
Nah, bro. They banned, bro. Fuck that.
I was gonna say, bro. I don't care if I lose a subscriber, bro. They're gone, bro. Immediately, bro. They're immediately gone.
But that's a shameless plug. If y'all trying to watch a stream, go ahead. Twitch.tv KingNathe. Twitch.tv/Mr. Hotshot3345.
You already know.
Something like that.
Damn.
Hey, put it in the comments if you want to watch these two stream Alien Isolation. I think we should. I think
we gotta find like a co-op horror game.
Bro,
Remember that. Those two. Not me. Not me. Those.
Like I said, bro, I'm gonna figure out making Twitch too, bro. I'll stream with you because I don't know what it is, but I be feeling satisfied playing horror games. But like Josh was my witness, bro. That shit was no joke. I was playing Outlast 2 on like the hard difficulty.
Yeah,
bro.
Nah, bro, I'm not built for that. I tried to play the first one, bro. No, it's because the first horror game I ever played was this game called PT, and it was a demo for like the new Silent Hill games. And I damn near peed myself. I could. That was it. I couldn't do it.
That's the game that made me not play Silent Hill. I played Silent Hill, the very first one, and I seen that, bro.
No, they had to cancel the game because niggas were getting heart attacks.
Pyramid Head, bro. Pyramid Head. I turned my system clean the fuck off.
Yo.
I was not going.
When I tell
you that, I have never attempted to look at, touch, play, or fiddle with any sort of horror game.
I can never play.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
Damn it.
Oh no, I'm about to.
I had fun playing that. Damn, I was gonna say because literally, I don't know what it is, bro. But I think actually I do know what it is. You having the power to control what happens, that is scary. That is scary as hell because we all talk big when we're at home looking at a screen like, oh, bro, why'd you not do that? But, bro, you got the sticks, you got the headphone in with the surround sound, bro, and you got a dip. Nah, bro.
Nah, bro. You're not in control, though.
That's why y'all gotta play this Alien game because the whole point is that the monster you're up against is it's a learning AI. So if you start to develop patterns, they coded it to try and develop patterns against you. For example, if you hide in a like closet too much, it'll start to check closets more like rigorously. So you have to be smart, otherwise it will catch you. You can't outrun it, or it will catch you. Like you have to play intelligently and be quiet. And so you like it's really one of the best horror games I've ever even seen. It's phenomenal. I played it. It's great. But dude, it'll scare. Oh my lord, that thing has it's just like you said, Zay. Sometimes you'll be playing and you'll turn around and catch it coming at you full speed. It's about 6 inches from your face. You just pause, turn the thing off. Just nope, nope. Go do something. Great game.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna get nightmares playing games like that, bro. And I'm a grown ass man, bro. I swear to you, I'm probably nah. I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Josh and I gonna be on co-op, and he's gonna come knocking on my door late at night, like in a cold sweat, talking about aliens.
Hell no. I'll be like, hey, bro, can I sleep on your floor tonight?
You're 22.
He gonna come in with his blanket, bro.
Oh,
What are you doing? Oh, Jackson, I don't want to sleep alone tonight.
Nah, Nico, I don't like that one.
heck nah.
I don't know.
Nico, I'm the king of those jokes, and this is Zay's podcast. We gotta keep those at.
All right, well, thank y'all for listening to us. Listening to our 5 cents. And a big thank you to our guest today, Alex. You got anything to say to our listeners, man?
Well, man, so come subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, come subscribe to Mr. Hotshot's channel and KingNathe channel.
Yes, sir.
Shameless plug for me.
And
We didn't pay him for that or anything.
Empty pockets.
It's not advertised, not monetized.
A genuine advertisement.
And go ahead, drop them names, drop the ats. Nate.
So go ahead, that twitch.tv/KingNathe NHTE. Y'all run this podcast up enough. Me and Josh will go ahead and play that scary game. We'll see who'll be the first, have some fun. Go ahead and come through.
Hey, who knows? I might hop on it too, man. We'll see what
I'm trying to make this competitive, damn it. But you already know. You can find me at twitch.tv/Mr. Hotshot, and there's some numbers at the end, but I'll leave that in like links below and stuff, so y'all can access that and make it easy for yourself. So no worries.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all again for listening to the 5 Cents podcast. Jackson, any last words, man?
Thank y'all for listening. Thank you to Alex, and it's been a pleasure again, y'all.
Any last words, Nico?
Man, real quick, I just want to shout out my boy Alex for stopping by and checking out the podcast with the boys, and thank you to all the viewers out there who continue to support us, man. It really means a lot, so keep on supporting.
All right, yeah, like they said, big shout out to Alex again. Thank you for coming out, being our guest today. And see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Take it easy.
Boy.